Do you want to play one of the most slept on leaders within Star Wars Unlimited? Do you want to play a deck that constantly plays out Sentinel after Sentinel after Sentinel after Sentinel? And not just that, do you want to shield all of these Sentinels? If you've answered yes, then this Lando Calrissian buy-in time deck is just for you. This Lando deck looks to shield anything and everything to take full control of the board of our units to then overwhelm and win with our big units late game. I honestly never thought I'd make a Lando deck, and I probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for one of my subscribers asking me to try him out, and I'm so pleased that they did, because I am in love with this Lando deck. He's one of my favourites to play right now, and I'm probably going to take him to a big tournament this weekend. But before we jump into Lando, the base, and well, how the deck looks to play, if you enjoy Stars Unlimited content, make sure to like and subscribe, because I'm going to be making loads more deck videos, as well as bringing some gameplay videos, and I don't want you guys to miss out. With that being said, let's jump on to Lando. So, Lando, what does he actually do? That's a question I've heard a lot lately while playing at my locals. Action, you pay 1 and exhaust him, then play a unit from your hand. If you do, and you control a ground unit and a space unit, give a shield token to a unit. So for that to actually work, you need both a ground unit and a space unit on the field at the same time. However, if you've just got a ground unit on field, you then activate Lando, paying this out, you then got a space and a ground unit, meaning the shield can then be played. So because we need ground and space for this ability to work, I've kind of gone even with the deck and gone 50-50 split between ground and space units. Honestly, this ability is actually kind of insane, because you can just keep playing out Sentinel after Sentinel after Sentinel and shielding them all. And not just that, you can actually play out ambush units, shielding the ambushing card, and then defeat it, meaning the shield goes and your ambush card survives. Lando deploys out on 7, so he's fairly late, but he's got 5 attack, 7 health, and Sentinel, so you can play him as a lovely Sentinel ground unit. However, you can also play him as a pilot, so you can attach him to a vehicle, and that vehicle unit gains Sentinel. Then, when deployed as an upgrade, you may give a shield token to a unit in a different arena. So yet again, Lando is allowing us to shield more units. I'm about to walk you through one of the best combos you can do with this deck. For this really powerful combo on your 7 resource turn, you need at least 1 space unit that costs 2 or less. You can't get away with it without a space unit costing 2 or less, it's just a lot better if you do. So what you're going to do, you're going to pay 1 to activate Lando, you're then going to pay your other 6 resources to play out the Mandalorian. He's a 5/6 Sentinel that reads, when played, you may heal all damage from a unit that costs 2 or less and give 2 shield tokens to it. So you're going to play out Mando. Then with Lando's ability, you're going to give a shield token to the Mandalorian. Then, with the Mandalorian's ability, you're going to give 2 shield tokens to this restored Ark. Then, in your next phase, you're going to deploy Lando as a pilot onto your restored Ark, meaning you can give a shield token over to your Mandalorian, meaning you've now got a shielded space unit that is a 7/8 Sentinel with 2 shields and a 5/6 Sentinel with 2 shields over here. So you've now Sentineled both lanes. Honestly, that swings games more often than not. Do you know how many attacks that takes to take them down? Obviously you need to be aware of removal, however that is just such a strong move for us. Because Lando, given those small units +5 attack and +5 health with the Sentinel, honestly, having this on like that restored Ark with 2 shields is just so good. For our base, we've gone for 33 health Data Vault. To run this, we need to increase our deck size by 10 cards, but that's actually alright in this deck. The reason we're running this one is because, well, we're more of a late game deck, and so we actually want to survive to get to that point, so more often than not, we need that extra damage on our base, just so we can get to that late game where we dominate. So that's our base, and our leader gone over. Let's crack on to this deck. Kicking things off for this deck is actually a 1 cost, and that is free Bunker Defenders. So this card is a 2 attack, 1 health. Not great, I know. But if you control a vehicle unit, this unit gains Sentinel. And well, because we're always looking to have vehicle units, it's basically always going to have Sentinel. The reason this card is in here is, well, because it's always going to have Sentinel, because we almost always have vehicles out. And if you pair him with Lando's ability, he's essentially a 2 cost shielded Sentinel. I mainly just play this card out in the late game, because suddenly popping out a shielded Sentinel means their big expensive players have to hit into this twice before they even touch our base. And by then, I've played out big units to then swing for game. So our poor little bunker defender here really is just a punching bag for the deck. Moving on to our 2 costing ground units, we've got 3 Gamorrean Retainers. So it's a 3 attack, 2 health stat line that reads, while I control another green unit, this unit gains Sentinel. And well, let me tell you, we've got a lot of green units in this deck, so he's almost always got Sentinel. The main reason I love this card so much is because if you're on turn 1 a green space unit, it means turn 2 you can activate Lando, paying that 1, bringing this out as a shielded Sentinel turn 2 with 3 attack. Honestly, having this as a shielded Sentinel turn 2 is insane, because it's pretty much always going to defeat whatever they have to trade into at that point in the game, and well, because of the shield, it's going to survive. It's just so good. Our next 2 costing ground unit is 3 Battlefield Marines. So this card is 3 attack, 3 health, and well, that's kind of it. It's just a really good stat line card you can play turn 1. And well, if you get shield onto it, having a 3/3 shielded unit turn 2 is kind of nice. But the main reason in here is because if you play it out and the opposition knows what you're doing, they're going to probably try and hit into your turn 1 play and defeat them, so you can't activate Lando. And because of this, having both 3 and 3, normally it will defeat wherever they run into and go down itself, or it tends to survive while defeating it. With that, let's move on to our 3 costing. That is 3 Echo-based Defender. So this card is 4 attack, 3 health, and has Sentinel. It's just a very, very strong Sentinel to play out turn 2. But with Lando, it's gonna cost 4. So it'll come out in your turn 3, but a shielded 4 attack Sentinel turn 3. It's insane. If you can keep this guy up and keep shielding him alone can absolutely wipe out Sabine's low costing units. It's insane. He can swing games against that deck. Moving on to our 4 costing ground units, we've got 2 Perimeter AT-RT. So it's a 3 attack, 5 health, and again Sentinel, but more importantly, you're going to play it on 5 resources, give it a shield, making it a 3 attack, 5 health shielded Sentinel. Or maybe you're struggling on your 4 resources, you can play it out, your following turn play a space unit, then give a shield token over here. Do you want to know why else this card is absolutely insane? It's a vehicle. That means we can actually deploy Lando onto it, making it a 8/10 Sentinel that's probably got a shield on it. Whew. And moving on to our 6 costing crown units is one of the best cards in the deck, just because of that combo I showed you earlier, and that's 3 the Mandalorian. So this guy is a 5 attack, 6 health Sentinel that reads, when played, you may heal all damage from a unit that costs 2 or less and give 2 shield tokens to it. Honestly, being able to give those 2 shield tokens to a unit that our Lando's deployed onto, making that a shielded Sentinel. Oh! What I also really like about this card is maybe you've missed the chance to do that combo setup that I showed you earlier, but this is your field right now. You've actually got your Lando deployed onto this. It's got 4 damage on it. You can then play Mando out, heal all of that, and give 2 shields to it. So even if you miss the chance to do that insane combo, he still has a lot of utility for this deck. And moving on to our 7 costing ground units is a one-off, and well, you might want to drop this for another one of our big ships that we run in this deck, but I really like it for a finisher, and that is a 97th Legion. So this card says, this unit gains +1/+1 for each resource you control. This deck always gets like 8, 9, 10 resources, so more often than not it's going to be like a 9/9 or a 10/10 that you can shield with Lando. More often than not, you will end up resourcing this card, but for the odd game this comes out and it is insane, like a 10/10 shield. It's just nuts, because they can't take it down in one go unless they got a bit of removal, and if they haven't, this card will just win you the game outright. Talking of very good 7 costing units is 3 Luke Skywalkers. So this guy is a 6 attack, 7 health with restore 3, so you heal 3 of every attack, and when played, give an enemy unit -3/-3 for this phase. If a friendly unit was defeated this phase, give that enemy unit -6/-6 for the phase instead. I think we all know at this point how cracked this card is. It's absolutely insane. Do you know what makes him even better? You can actually shield him with Lando, and honestly, do not underestimate shielding units that late in the game, because the amount of times I've played like Akira and it's got to that late game, I shielded Luke, they've overwhelmed Barrage, and it's just kept my Luke up, who's then swung and won the game. And rounding up our ground units is an 8 cost, and that is 2 Reinforcement Walkers. So this is a 6 attack 9 health unit that reads when played and on attack, look at the top card of your deck, either draw that card or discard it and heal 3 damage from your base. This is really important for the deck because, like I said towards the start of this video, we actually tend to get quite a bit of damage onto our base early because we are that late game deck. So then bringing this out and healing that damage back is lovely. Also, playing this out and shielding it is such an issue for the opposition because it can just start clearing all of their units and healing away like it's no issue for us. So that's our ground units done. Let's crack on to the space units. So kicking things off, our space units is a 2 cost and we're going to run 2 of these. That is 2 Scouting Headhunters. Similar to our Bunker Defender, I don't play this card that much, but late game, playing this out and shielding it for only 3 resources is lovely because it means they're really big and expensive space units had to get through this twice before they hit our base. I played a Boba Fett deck and playing this out, shielding it, meant their Fett's Fire Spray had to go through it twice before they could hit our base. And by that time, my Luke had swung twice, healed 6, it was game over for them at that point. Moving on to our next 2 cost and space unit, we got 3 Restored Arc 170s. There was no way I was going to build a blue hero deck and not use this card. For those who have watched multiple of my deck videos, you know how much I love this card. So it's 2 attack, 3 health, restore 1. Like I said, we get a bit of damage on our base, so that healing is really important. And of course, it costs 2 or less, meaning we can do our Mando-Lando combo with it. So it's a really important card for this deck. Moving on to our next 2 cost and space unit is 3 Phoenix Squadron A-Wings. This is one of the more aggressive turn 1 plays you can play in space because it's 3 attack, 2 health, that's it. It's just a nice attacking space unit. But the reason this card is so good within this deck is because it's green, meaning we can play this out turn 1, go on Retainer out turn 2 and shield that Retainer, making it we've got a shielded Sentinel. You may also be thinking, across our ground units and space units, we've got a lot of 2 cost or less units. So the reason for that is so it's more targets for Lando, so we can keep activating his ability to keep shielding our bigger units by spending as little as possible. And well, the more 2 cost or less units we got, the more we can do our Mando-Lando combo. Moving on to our 3 cost and space units, we've got 3 Eager Escort Fighter. So this card is 4 attack, 1 health with Ambush. So it's just a really big ambush. For little, this normally trades and gets defeated itself. However, you can activate Lando with it. So if you've got a ground unit, you can play this out. You can then give a shield token to it, then do the ambush. So this will go in, defeat something, and this will survive, and our shield goes. This card is absolutely beautiful for the deck. It's one of the reasons I was so tempted to build a Lando Orange, just so I can keep ambushing away and shielding it all. Talking of ambushing, is our next 3 cost, and that is 3 Blue Leaders. So this card is a 3/3 with Ambush. But, well, you know what this card does. When played, you may pay 2. If you do, move this unit to the Grand Arena and give 2 experience tokens to it. That is insane, right? Do you know what I'm going to say? Lando makes it even more insane, because there's a few things you can do. So, how you're going to start it off is if you've got a ground unit, activate Lando, play this out, give a shield to it. You can then ambush in over here, defeating something, meaning the shield goes, and then you can go over here and give 2 experience tokens to it. Or you can keep the shield on it, then pay the 2, move it over, then do the ambush with the shield, and defeat a ground unit and have this full health and full attack ready for the next phase. Moving on to our next 3 cost and space unit is 3 Concord Dawn Interceptors. This card is a 1 attack, 4 health Sentinel that reads this unit gets +2 when defending. So essentially it's going to be a 3/4 Sentinel for us. If you play this card with Lando's ability and give it a shield token, it's just GG in space. Unless they got removal in their hand, they just can't take it down. So a lot of Vader yellow at the moment is like storming the meta, but this card on its own with Lando just wins me the game. Like Vader just can't do anything. Talking about amazing cards to play against Vader is our 4 cost and space unit, and that is 3 Bright Hopes. So it's a 2 attack, 6 health Sentinel, so very beefy Sentinel, that reads when played, you may turn a friendly non-leader ground unit to his owner's hand. If you do draw a card, you're very rarely going to use that. It's just in here because it's a 2/6 Sentinel, and of course, if you play it with Lando, you can give it a shield, making it a 2/6 shielded Sentinel in space. Like Vader's just not getting through it for like 3 or 4 attacks, and by that time, it's normally chipped away at all the TIE fighters, and then by that time, their clone combat squadrons, their health's gone down, it defeats it, GG. Bit of a jump now. We're going to go to our 8 cost in space units, and that is 2 Home Ones. So you could run 3 if you wanted to drop the 97th Legion for another one. I just Nice evolution, which is good fun. So this card is 7 attack, 7 health with Restore 2. It also reads each other friendly unit gains Restore 1. So because of this card, the amount of healing this deck can actually do late game is insane. And when played, you may play a hero unit from your discard pile. It costs 3 less. So more often than not, I play this out and then bring an Echo-based Defender from my discard pile back. But if you play this out and give it a shield, honestly, good luck to the opposition getting rid of it. It does so much work. And rounding up our space units is another 8 cost. That's 2 redemptions. So this card is a 6 attack, 9 health Sentinel that reads, when played, heal up to 8 total damage from any number of units and or bases. Deal that much damage to this unit. So it's a mass 8 healing from our base. The reason this card is so unbelievably good in this deck is, yet again, like I said, we get to late game, so we need that healing on the base, so that 8 mass healing is nuts. However, if you've got a ground unit out, you can activate Lando, then play this out, give it a shield, then do the 8 healing to the base, meaning they're going to do 8 damage back, right? That 8 damage will actually ping off the shield, meaning you have a 6/9 redemption chilling in space, done its healing with 0 damage on it. The power that gives this deck is nuts, because it just means we can afford taking that extra bit of damage, fully knowing we're just going to heal 8 of that back and have no repercussion for it. Honestly, that combo is nuts. And when it happens, everyone's like, wait, what just happened? It's just so good. That's our space units done. Let's crack on to these events and upgrades. Starting things off with events and upgrades is a 2 cost, and that is 2 Cover the Wing. This card reads, create an X-Wing token. You may give a shield token to another unit. The reason this card is so important is because, well, it helps us out with just seeing a lot of ground units. Because if we play a ground unit out, activate this, give a shield to it, give a space unit to us. Meaning the next turn, Lando goes live. And, well, believe it or not, that X-Wing actually lives around a lot more than you may think. And due to that, that X-Wing has had the Lando-Mando combo onto it so many times. Moving on to our free costing events and upgrades is free resupplies. So this card is put this event into play as a resource. It's just a bit of ramp for us. And well, because we're quite a late game deck with a lot of big units, and because we're always paying 1 to activate Lando, it is nice to have the additional resource. The reason we don't run more ramp is because it's actually very situational when we want to use this card. So more often than not, we actually do just want to keep playing out units and keep shielding them. But when you play against a ramp deck and they ramp and then you can just ramp straight on back, it's beautiful for us. But against the aggro decks, please don't use resupply because you will get run over. Just make sure you time this card correctly, because when it's timed correctly, it really is good for us. But against most matchups, it's alright. Moving on to our 4 cost event upgrade is where we actually move on to our soft control nature of the deck, and that is 2 takedowns. Like most late game decks, we do need a little bit of control in there, so takedown just reads defeat a unit with 5 less remaining HP. This is in here for the early game because we want to play a lot of those big units, so be able to just keep slowing them up, slowing them down is beautiful. Sticking with the soft control theme is 2 Fell the Dragons. This card reads defeat a non-leader unit with 5 or more power. This is in here for when we get to the late game and maybe we're playing against Akira, just playing Avengers, Devastators, play this out, get rid of it. And well, it doesn't hurt having this only 4 to get rid of, I don't know, a Snoke or maybe a Reinforcement Walker that they play. Moving on to our 6 cost events and upgrades is more control, and I apologise for it, and that is 2 Rivals Fall. This card simply reads defeat a unit. So I really like this card in this deck for the sheer reason of, against Anakin, if you just get rid of Anakin, you just win. So having this in here to just pop him off is beautiful. I also found we got 60 cards, so there's no harm in having 2 of these, because more often than not, you're going to resource 1, and you can just keep 1 chilling in your hand if you don't see other removal, and it's just because the power it holds, I thought, why not? And I'm very thankful I have, because this has come up to pop off leaders so many times. And rounding up our events and upgrades is 2 7 costs, and that is 2 U-Wing reinforcements. This card reads, search the top 10 cards of your deck for 3 units that combine cost 7 or less and pay each of them for free. So this card basically means you can play out a Luke or a 97th Legion that no one ever expects for you to pop out, or you can play out lots of smaller units. What I have done a couple of times, what I've really liked doing, is that I've gone 3 for the Eager Escort to then ambush and defeat something, so I've had 4 resources left. I've then gone 2 for the Sentineled ship that costs 2, and then for another 2 I've gone Gamorrean Retainer, meaning that they get Sentinel because of the space unit, meaning I've defeated tank with 2 Sentinels in both lanes off 1 card. That's actually it for the main deck. Let's crack on to this side deck. Moving on to our side deck, we've got 2 free costs, and that's 2 Village Protectors. So this card is a 2/2 Sentinel that comes out with a shield. The reason it's in here is because when we play Sabine, we need to see our Sentinels early. And playing this out and giving it double shield is absurd. Playing this out against Sabine on 4 resources, 2 shields, it just nullifies them. It just slows them down to an absolute halt. Even if they ambush out their Poe Dameron, they need to discard 2 cards and do the attack to defeat it. That's absurdly good. Our next card is a 5 cost, and that's 3 Chewbacca's. This is in here for the control matchups. So it's a 5/6, it reads, this can't be defeated or returned to hand by enemy card abilities, and you can pilot it for free onto a space unit, and it gets the same ability, and it gives it +3/+3. But in the control matchups, this card is just an absolute must. The only way they can actually defeat this card then is, well, damage. So if you equip this onto a smaller space unit, you can actually play out Mando and double shield it. So if you put it onto your A-Wing, you've then got a 6/5 double shielded unit that can't be bounced or defeated by abilities. It's insane. But please be aware, if you do that onto a low cost and space unit, then Traitorous is horrible against us, because then they end up with a really big unit we can't get rid of. Talking of Traitorous is the reason we run our next card within this deck, and that's 1 cost, that's 3 Confiscates. This card reads simply defeat and upgrade. This is so important for this deck. I can't honestly begin to tell you how good Traitorous is against us, because you play a lot of smaller units and give them shields. If they take one of them, it's such a kick in the teeth. Especially because if they take like the only space unit we've got on the field and in our hand, then we can't activate Lando's ability. So playing this, defeat that Traitorous, give it back, beautiful, and well, of course, it's no harm get rid of that Darksaber off Sabine, is it? And rounding up our side deck is 2 4 costs. They're 2 different cards, but I'll do it at the same time. That is 1 Takedown and 1 Fell the Dragon, just to up our removal. So if we get to that late game or we're playing a control deck, let's join in removing their units. So that's it for our side deck and the main deck. And here's the deck list for those who want it. For final thoughts and matchups, this is a really fun off-meta deck that can definitely beat the stronger decks. Like, I've beaten Kira's and Sabine's multiple times. The fact you can just keep shielding everything is kind of nuts. Obviously, it's not as consistent as some of these meta decks, and you can get some games where you're just going to keep drawing all ground units or all space units, and then Lando's a bit pointless, and you're like, brilliant, can't do a lot. For matchups, I'm going to straight away say the main matchup we really struggle against, and that is Quinlan. I just haven't beat Quinlan Tarkentown on this deck. I don't know what it is. Quinlan just absolutely destroys this deck. I think it's the hand removal and the bounce against us. It just really, really hurts. Against the Sabine matchup, it's very 50-50. If you get your Sentinels out and shield them, you will win, because you will stall them up enough that you then just suddenly play down these Lukes that are shielded, you play out your Mando-Lando combo, and it's just they can't do anything, and you win. But sometimes you won't see any of your Sentinels, and they'll just race you to ground and win. Against Anakin, I think I've won 9 times out of 10. Like, Anakin, for some reason, just can't really beat this deck. This just obliterates him. I'm not sure why. And against Kira, it's a very interesting matchup. I'll say it's 50-50. I've definitely beaten Kira's, but they've also definitely beaten me. So it's very close call between those two. But all in all, it's a really fun deck, and it really surprised me with how strong it actually is. Of course, you're not probably going to go win any PQs with it, but it is a good, fun deck to use. And it's Lando, so it's something different. Let me know in the comments what you think about this deck and any changes you may make. And if you tried it out, how'd it go for you? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and I don't want you to miss out on all these gameplay videos and other decks I'm going to make. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one.